Hello Internet, welcome to the BRYCAST, episode 1. Tonight we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Evolution, the hit movie based off of the franchise Dragon Ball, directed by James Wong. And so let's get started. Let's talk about Dragon Ball first off. I have two guests on here with me tonight. Introduce yourselves.
I am AJShoop.
And I'm Nick Brock.
And how'd you guys first get into Dragon Ball?
Well, I first got into Dragon Ball. I remember the first time I ever saw it was at my babysitter's house. It's after school, and we had to fight over the controller over what we would watch on the TV. And thankfully, there was like three of us who really liked Toonami, because that was back when Toonami was like starting to get the ball rolling, and anime was like, oh shit, it's this new crazy thing. It's like cartoons, but it's like serious sometimes. And Dragon Ball Z was on there, and then later they ended up putting Dragon Ball on there because I guess the popularity, or maybe it was, I might have came in after they already did Dragon Ball and they were re-airing it again. But yeah, that was my first exposure, and I fell off. I didn't care too much for Dragon Ball Z, probably around the Namekian arc, but Dragon Ball was always solid for me.
I regret not being one of the Toonami kids, because I knew a lot of the Toonami kids, and I remember seeing it on Toonami and pretty much just saying like, I don't know what's happening, this is stupid. It was always, I always caught it during the Frieza arc, so it's like they're always shouting and there's this weird feminine monster alien. So I didn't get into Dragon Ball until I was the ripe age of 20 actually, and I am currently 22. So I am super fresh, and I just watched it on a whim. I was like, this is a huge cultural touchstone, and also all of these rappers keep talking about Dragon Ball references, so I've got to listen to it now because it's in the cultural zeitgeist. And so I watched it. I started with Dragon Ball, went into Dragon Ball Z because I have the power of the internet. I don't have to rely on cable television, and I blasted through it in maybe like 3 months. And it's a pretty good story. 6 out of 10, really. It's a stupid story told well.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to sum up Dragon Ball Z.
Bri, how did you get into Dragon Ball?
Well, I've seen a couple episodes, growing up here and there, but never really watched it like all the way through or understood what was going on. I watched GT when it first aired on Toonami. But I just recently watched all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z for the first time all the way through, this past January and February.
You were watching like 10 hours a day.
Yeah, something like that.
You were fucking blasting.
Oh my god.
Just trying to get through it, but I had a great time getting through it. I wasn't trying to rush it or anything. I watched all the filler. If you watch Kai, you're a coward. Putting that on the record.
I know that I didn't watch Kai, but I did watch the regular airing of the Funimation dub. I greatly regret not watching it with the original Japanese audio.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it with Japanese audio, man.
Yeah, you lose so much of the characters. Like, the English dub, there's times where you can just tell, like, these guys don't care. It's a paycheck.
Exactly. Like, people love Chris Sabat's Vegeta, but his line readings, especially in early parts, are just so off, and they don't sound right, and you lose so much.
For sure.
And it's like, once you watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, a lot of anime starts making sense, because the amount of references, the amount of things started in Dragon Ball in the whole franchise, as well as all of the references that you'll find in the real world, not just in anime. It all comes together as in like, oh, now I actually have this knowledge about this thing now.
Yeah. Dragon Ball, like, and Dragon Ball Z, like, both of them, they really changed the whole, like, nature of shonen anime. And the idea of like the power escalation, and it kind of started that whole trend that hate it or love it, it's here to stay.
Yeah, it's still going on.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academia, but I admit that a majority of it is just shit shonen tropes. And if you want to watch that kind of stuff in a more pure form with sometimes, actually no. Dragon Ball has some pretty shoddy animation, especially during the middle. I gotta say, the Buu arc has some pretty damn good animation during fights, but
I really like the animation during the first 2 arcs of Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Where they had, like, you could see, like, the hair moving and everything.
Yeah.
Because, like, you could sort of feel the weight of them moving, and, like, the hair moved like air, and seeing them move as fast as seeing them move so fast that their hair falls behind makes them seem like they're going super fast.
Yeah.
But now that they just teleport everywhere, it's like, oh, now they're just teleporting everywhere.
Yeah, well, it's a money-saving trick.
Yeah.
Man, I can't remember where around they started doing it, but they would, like, reserve their best animator just for, like, really important, like, episodes, and then they'd put, like, their like, B-list animator on the job for everything else, and I think that started the trend towards, like, the instant transmission, because they realized how much money they were saving just by using their, like, second best animator alone, and then they're like, wait, we can use our best animator all the time if we just cheese it.
Now, Nick, I gotta stop you there, because you gotta remember that this all started with a manga that was super well drawn, but Akira Toriyama, the guy who created the manga, is extremely lazy. After so many years of writing and drawing it, he basically just said, okay, now when Goku has to, he can just go somewhere.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of weekly shonen, though. That'll do it to you. Those guys, I can't imagine living that lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, it's hell. I can't even do a decent drawing once. Seeing them do decent drawings 5 times per page, like up to 20 pages a week, that's insane.
Yeah.
They getting that money though.
Sorta. I've actually never heard anything about a mangaka's salary.
Yeah, I don't think they actually make that much money.
I know they work so much. I think the guy who wrote and drew Yu Yu Hakusho, he said that he pretty much had about 3 hours of free time a week. So, like, every week he worked, and then he would deal with his family stuff, and then he would sleep, and besides that, he had 3 hours to just engage in something that he actually enjoyed. Not to say that he didn't enjoy his family or his work, but something that he wanted to do outside of his normal life.
That's part of the culture, though.
That's true. It's glorious Nippon. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So Dragon Ball Evolution comes out 2009. I recall I was in 9th grade at the time. No, wait, I was in 8th grade at the time.
You were in 8th grade? Oh, man.
And Dragon Ball Z was still kind of something that was badass. For kids that age, you got to think that there are 2 sides of the spectrum. There's badass and don't watch this.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z was still sort of badass. Dragon Ball Evolution was not badass. It was don't watch this. And that, like, when I heard that, like, that's the case, don't touch this movie.
Yeah, I unfortunately saw that in theaters because my
What?
friends were like, guys, we gotta go see the Dragon Ball movie. Like, it's gonna be crazy. And I was like, I don't know, guys. I was a senior at that point, and I was like, in the full swing of, like, the teenage, it's not cool to be about anything. So I was like, I don't know about this, guys. This seems like it's probably a bad idea. But we went and watched it because we lived in Snow Hill, and, we're 30 minutes from any sort of semblance of society. So we went out and had a movie night, and
God.
I think we rode most of the way home in silence. Pretty upset at our friend Ricky, who decided this was a really good idea.
It was a really bad idea.
Yes, it was. Yes,
Man.
it was. So coming back and watching it again, I didn't think it was nearly as bad as the first time I watched it. Maybe it's because I'm a little less judgmental about things, but it's still pretty terrible.
Did you pay for it this time?
No, I didn't pay for it this time. Are you kidding me?
Of course you didn't pay for it, Nick. Of course I didn't pay for it. Who would pay for Dragon Ball Evolution?
I did.
Some sort of schmuck.
Bry did.
Oh,
Bry
Bry.
paid for it.
I gotta watch in HD.
You gotta watch.
Bry, I found a stream of it in HD.
Oh, come on, man.
It only took me like 30 minutes to find it, but I found it.
Yeah, see, it took me 30 minutes to find it. I was on a time schedule.
Oh, it's true. I watched it in like 144p on Putlocker, so I'm not one to talk. Yeah, because this movie wasn't gonna blow me away. I sort of accepted that from the forefront.
It kind of blew me away. I didn't expect it to be that bad.
I had my phone down for most of it, so that's my first compliment of the movie. Let's hop into the story, because, this is just an entire list of grievances. It's not just like one problem, it's systematic. So let's start from the top. The shitty narration at the front, it gives away way too much immediately. Stuff that I don't care about now, and it turns out I didn't even care about by the end of the movie.
The first rule is, there are no rules.
Oh.
I knew I was in for a bad ride, not from the narration, but from the first actual scene. And it's like, you're gonna eat dirt. I was like, oh no.
Before that, there was actually like a cool shot of like Goku sweating, and it was like all close-ups.
Yeah, there was one cool shot where it was just like half the frame was Goku's face sweating, the other half was the blue sky clear, and it was really good use of color, really good use of framing. And then immediately goes to this really shitty looking flat medium shot of Goku standing on the clothes wires, and it's like, okay, this movie sucks now. It was cool for half a second and it starts sucking immediately. The fighting
in that opening scene kind of sounded like it was all dubbed in, like the voices and grunts.
Definitely. Oh my god. That fight scene looked like it was built in editing.
Yeah, it actually, it reminded me of something I watched on Netflix. I think it was like 2 nights ago or something like that. I don't even remember the name of it. It was some Korean movie, but every time they hit each other, you could just tell that there was a dubbed in sound clip. And it was the first thing I thought of once they started fighting. I was like, hey, this is really familiar.
Yep.
Going right back to this. This is real cheap, isn't it?
It's from so this is an interesting movie because this was coming out around the time that The Bourne Identity and the Transformers movies, they were box office hits. And so I guess they said, let's do this to Dragon Ball instead of thinking like, oh, this is a kung fu movie. Let's make a kung fu movie out of Dragon Ball. So it's all just like, it's all action movie stuff.
Was it really a kung fu movie though?
It wished it was.
It wished it was a kung fu movie. It tried to look like a kung fu movie.
And then the director realized that he was doing this for Americans. So we had to have high school in it, and we had to have high school bully tropes, and oh god.
Christ. Like, the high school. So, just a few notes about the fight scene. One, the CGI beetle. That was annoying. That was like, I could see that it was going in a different frame rate than the rest of the movie, and I was angry. It didn't look like it was actually crawling on the clothesline like it was supposed to. And then the shot of the beetle flying in Grandpa Gohan's mouth. Christ almighty, save
I don't
me.
think they call him Grandpa Gohan in the movie. They just call him Grandpa, I'm pretty sure.
No, they call him Gohan.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Roshi calls him Gohan.
Yeah,
oh.
And that's where I realized that I don't think that the scriptwriters or the director really spent any time watching any Dragon Ball or reading any of it. I think they probably pulled up a list of characters that had like maybe a 3-sentence summary of each character, like their personality, and they just kind of ran with that. Cause
pretty much.
Because Goku's supposed to be like the embodiment of purity, and he's very much so vain and selfish in this movie.
He's vain, selfish, but they kept the traits of him being stupid and socially inept. So now he's just an asshole.
It's his birthday. He can do what he wants.
It's Goku's birthday!
It's Goku's birthday.
Happy birthday, Goku.
You
Who
fuck.
cares?
And
Guess how much the birthday thing came into play? None at all, except that Goku gets to feel guilty for not hanging out with his grandpa on his birthday.
Yeah, right?
That's it.
Goku's different, alright? He's
special.
different.
Goku says something along the lines of like, "Don't teach me how to fight. Teach me how to get the girl."
Yeah.
And it's like, Goku.
And it's like, wait, that's not Goku. That's
not
like
Goku at all.
That's like Yamcha. And we'll come back to Yamcha later. I've got some fucking problems with him.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm excited to talk about Yamcha when we get to him because here's a spoiler. Yamcha might have been my favorite character of the movie.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah, listen, any positive notes here are going to be sardonic and also melancholy. So, toss shade however you want.
Oh.
So we get out of the first scene.
Goku goes to school.
Gohan. Goku goes to school.
Goku goes to school.
And he gets his fucking bike run over.
Yeah, fuck Goku's bike.
Because that's what bullies do these days. They just attempt murder.
Like the bully, he just parked his car on top of the bike, and Goku ain't getting that back.
No.
And this is so written by someone who's 40 plus years old, because no, you can't just park a car on a bike and sit around for 8 hours in high school and then leave.
Yeah,
there are people who watch that shit.
There's repercussions.
Even back in 2008, there are cops at high schools,
Not at Goku's high school.
Not at Goku's high school. By the way, what fucking country are we in?
They don't think it's ever said.
Yeah, I didn't figure that one out.
Because this all plays into something.
There's English in the movie.
There's English.
Because there's
all of the place names are Chinese though.
Because there's proper society, cities and stuff. And then there's they're in that one place. It's looks like an underground black market later in the movie. And then there's these dragon ruins that they go to at the very end. It's I'm getting mixed signals here. Where the fuck are we?
The destroyed Asian village that, at least in my version, didn't have any subs for any of the lines, so I didn't know what the fuck they were saying there.
Yeah, I don't think that there were subs for those lines at all.
No, there.
For all we know,
there was.
There was with yours. Okay.
Yes, because I bought it.
Oh, did they? Is that where we're supposed to pick up on that? The bad girl side chick's name is May, because I don't think they ever say her name in the entire movie.
Yeah, they
awesome.
Might have said it once, but I didn't write it down until
I think
me and Andy were talking about it.
I think Piccolo might have said it once, exactly once.
Because I was flabbergasted. It's who is she? What's her purpose here? What does she stand to gain by helping Piccolo out? He doesn't even know her name. What's going on?
No, she's just a shoehorned character.
Yeah,
because
it's like all of them.
Piccolo, God, we're jumping around so much.
There's
so much I want to say about Piccolo.
You're not wrong. So we're at school. He just got his bike run over, and he gets bullied. And he's like, "I promised Grandpa I wouldn't fight," but he didn't say that out loud.
Whenever Goku talks about his grandpa, he's such a fucking nerd. I promised Grandpa I wouldn't fight. My grandpa says the Namekians came.
Yeah, how the fuck are you gonna say that in high school? He even thinks about it. He clearly thinks about it. It's I probably shouldn't say it. And then he just says it.
If I was in that fucking class, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
The boy you smacked.
Small note, what the fuck is up with the desks?
The desks, I didn't pay a lot of it. They looked like, in your guys' science class, in my science class in high school, we had these desks where you had it could fit 2 people. And it was basically so that there was no squabbling about who was going to pair up with who. And that's what it looked like, but they were in a history class. Or I guess it was science, but...
They were in a history class, but there were computer screens built into the desks. This was supposed to be a high-tech situation, but they never use it because they're in a Excuse me, I burped because I'm a fucking disgusting idiot. They're in a history class. They're not going to use that unless they're Googling something. And I don't think they have the rights to say Google in this movie, so I doubt they're going to do that.
Yeah, they probably got the rights to Bing.
I'm glad you brought that up, Andy, because that's another problem I have with the movie. It doesn't really want to settle on a tech level. Because there's like...
Bry gets some bonus points for bringing up that they probably use Bing in this universe.
Isn't that like the go-to for everybody who can't afford to use Google?
It's the default for Internet Explorer now?
That sounds right.
Yeah, because
what company owns Bing?
Microsoft.
Really? Oh, okay, yeah, so it's definitely Internet Explorer, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't want to settle on like a tech level because there's jetpacks, there's blaster fucking guns, and then there's still regular guns though, and people drive normal cars. But the Capsule Corp also exists, and she could fucking summon vehicles at will.
Yeah, it like Dragon Ball had that a little bit where it's like they've got flying cars, but everybody still uses guns. But
most of Dragon Ball took place in like the rural, undeveloped area of the world, so it was kind of excusable. Like there were bandits running around in like the Dragon Ball world.
Yeah, well, that's something interesting that like Dragon Ball is kind of a mishmash of pulp ideas. So like there are the concept that there are bandits in the desert, the concept that in cities they'll have floating cars, but there'll still be grass on the lawn. So like the original Dragon Ball was still like it was kind of this mishmash of ideas. Here it just didn't seem like they had a single idea, and so they were just throwing whatever the fuck they could around to make a universe.
Yeah, and that really makes me pretty sure that like these guys just looked up like a five sentence long summary of like the Dragon Ball world. Two sentence long summaries of the characters, and we're like, we can make a movie out of this. We can do that. And it's like it really shows because they could have done all the weird shit that they did with like the inconsistency and tech level. They tried to do it with the inconsistent tone, and it just wouldn't flow very well because it was like they'd be like happy-go-lucky one second, Goku's like having a laugh with a girl, and then next minute someone's dead, and it's like, all right, that's
well that plays into something that Bry and I were talking about, where this movie it needed to cut about 30 minutes of filler content, and then it needed after that, when it's down to 1 hour of actual content, it needed to be twice as long. Because there's way too much dicking around and doing nothing, but then once you get rid of the dicking around and doing nothing, everything happens way too fast.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. If they had cut it down to an hour, and then I don't even think they should have made it twice as long if they had cut it down to an hour. Just make it an hour and 30 minutes. That'd been great. And but like you said, just cut out all the filler because there's just so much nonsense going on.
All right.
Fucking when they go out into the middle, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, back on track. This movie was an ordeal.
Try to stay on track.
We are paying for our sins. So we're in high school.
We're in high school, and and we've already established that Goku can't use his chi for shit. Like right at the beginning, it's like Goku can't use his chi. He's not good at it.
Nick, I'm gonna stop you right here.
Key. I'm sorry.
It's
They're the
all
same
good.
thing. It's just different countries.
We were about to go down a bad. Well, we have to talk about Chi-Chi using ki. So it's important to separate the syllables.
This is true. This is very true. But
and also we don't want to be accidentally racist.
I think it's too late. I already did it.
Dragon Ball's already sort of racist. It's a Japanese dude taking a whole bunch of Chinese myths and making jokes about it. Anyway, so we're in high school. Goku can't get it up with his ki gland, whatever the fuck. And then once he sees Chi-Chi, he gets a ki boner and opens up all the lockers.
Oh, that scene was epic.
That scene was so epic. It was so cool. And then once he and Chi-Chi started talking together, the eyes rolled out of the back of my fucking head.
Yeah, he flat out insults to like Chi-Chi's name. He's like, oh, that's like a dumb name. Oh,
I wrote this down. I literally just wrote, Goku, your name is Goku. It's like, you fucking idiot.
Like, he's got the weirdest fucking name out of everybody in that school, hands down. Like, you can't go around making fun of other people's names when you've got a name like Goku.
Oh yeah, and also Chi-Chi, the literal line, I wrote this down because it's literally such a stupid line. Her line is, just because my name's Chi-Chi doesn't mean I'm a complete idiot. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Is Chi-Chi like, is that Chinese for stupid head? Like, what the fuck? That was a self-diss.
Yeah, it's just like, wait a minute, you're like a popular girl in this school. You're not supposed to be self-depreciating.
Like, I think it was playing with the thing that, like, oh, the cool girls aren't supposed to be intelligent. Or they're not supposed to know about underground stuff. But she's different. And Goku's different. Don't forget Goku's different.
Yeah, Goku's different.
Don't forget that he's different.
Alright, so Goku gets invited to a party on his birthday. What was the party for?
Chi-Chi was just having a party.
Yeah,
Chi-Chi's
after
just
that whole
having a
awkward
party.
exchange where he insults her name twice and then just tries to run away, she's just like, I'm having a party. He's like, I'll go. I'll be there. And he's like, okay. And it was just really forced and weird. Like, you could tell that they weren't sure how to progress the plot forward, so they just did it.
Exactly. It's like, okay, they have to meet at some point, and Goku has to get to the next scene, so he's just going to be invited. And it's like, no actual tact, no actual, like, story development, character development, just, they like each other now, they're going to go to a party together.
Yeah, they don't really, like, there's no groundwork for why Goku actually likes Chi-Chi, or the reverse. Like, she's a pretty girl, but, like, we don't hear her speak until that encounter where she can't get her locker open. It's the first line she gets is, I hate these stupid lockers, or something like that.
Oh my god, the scene where the bullies are walking away and Chi-Chi's under the guy's arm, it looks like she's a hostage. It looks like she's being attacked. Like, she looks so sad and frightened.
They probably were held hostage to make this movie.
It's the only way they could get it done.
They held the cast's family members at gunpoint just to get it done.
They probably held a cast at gunpoint.
Like, we're finishing this fucking movie. You're not going anywhere.
He signed a contract, it's too late. Don't hurt my family, I'll do the movie.
So what? Once the party stuff is happening.
No, hold up. Goku, Goku is such an asshole. He, like, okay, so Grandpa Gohan, like, makes him a cake and everything. And Goku just leaves. Doesn't say a word. Just leaves.
Yeah, Grandpa Gohan makes him, like, a fucking feast. A cake.
To be fair, it is chicken feet.
There were whole chickens, too, Andy, okay?
Okay.
And there was rice and
I didn't see
vegetables and noodles and...
I was busy writing down chicken feet.
Have you ever had chicken feet, Andy?
I actually haven't, and Grandpa Gohan made it look really good.
Oh, there you go. Though I'm perplexed as to what he meant by he couldn't get whole chickens, he could only get the chicken feet, because it seemed like he's the kind of guy who has a farm and not going to the market.
The chicken
raised some
probably
questions for me, but
That's a question. That is the least of our concerns right now.
I was pretty concerned.
In this movie's universe, they probably have, like, chicken that can, like, regrow their feet after they get cut off.
Probably.
And Gohan just has a bunch of those.
God.
My actual note was close up of Grandpa Gohan eating chicken feet is sexy as hell. When the fuck did I write this? I was writing some wacky shit in my notes. Do you guys remember an Asian girl eating a strawberry at some point in the movie? Because I don't.
I don't want to think about this movie.
That might have been from when you were tabbed out on your phone.
It might have been when I was on Tinder. Tinder doesn't happen until page 4.
You took 4 pages of notes?
I took 7 pages of notes.
What the heck?
They're small notebook pages, but like, and I was writing in a huge font so I could read it afterwards. But,
okay.
Yeah, I was going ham. So anyway, fucking Goku's an asshole. Also, he has a soccer poster in his room, so confirmed he likes soccer for whatever that means. He's a normal teenager, but he's different.
He's different.
Goku's different.
Normal kids like sports.
Normal kids like sports, right?
Jesus. So we get to the party, which is this is the last scene, the party scenes.
Oh,
the last ones that have any sort of comedy or humor that I laughed at.
I want to make one note before we get to the party scene. I think Goku leaves without telling Grandpa Gohan.
Yeah, no.
For literally no reason.
Yeah, no, he just leaves.
He just leaves out the window for no reason. There's nothing that makes us think as the audience that Grandpa is not going to let him go, or that Goku had to leave in secret for some reason.
Yeah, Goku just goes.
It didn't even imply until Grandpa went to call him with the cake that he was going to leave without telling him. He's just gone. It doesn't show us like him looking at a window or anything to like maybe imply that he's sneaking out. He's just gone.
Because Gohan seems like the kind of guy who would probably just say like, "Oh, we'll have fun. It's your birthday. We'll have it tomorrow."
Yeah, probably, because they don't know about the imminent threat yet.
So, and it's important to chronicle where Goku's an asshole, so we can confirm our thesis that Goku is a fucking asshole. So anyway, we're at the party. Goku shows up and is immediately attacked.
He's not gonna fight though.
He's not gonna fight though, because Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa told me not to fight.
Grandpa told me not to fight. I'm different.
And so he just proceeds to not fight these guys as they beat each other up in the like most hilariously choreographed fucking set of cuts ever.
So this scene was trying to do two things at once. It was trying to do a Zack Snyder slow-mo, fast-mo action scene, and it was trying to be fucking slapstick.
This was probably the scene in the movie that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Same. Thinking back on it.
Because it was funny. It was actually funny.
Yeah.
It didn't need the slow-mo every time somebody got hit or was about to hit him, but
And this is the one point where Goku's actually doing a Goku thing. Like Goku would do that. Goku would say, "Okay, well, I'm not going to attack you," and then he'd let them attack themselves. That's a very Goku thing from Dragon Ball. It's around here that I noted Goku looks like Billy Joe Armstrong. That's just something I came up with.
Yeah, no, he looks like a mid-2000s rock band singer.
Exactly. He looks like Green Day.
Yeah, he does. He tries to fight it, but apparently he's just too different.
Goku's different.
He's different.
Hair gel just doesn't work on Goku.
Yeah, because he's different.
Goku's different.
But yeah, after he gets the guy to fuck up his car, and then as far as I can tell, kill his friend.
Yeah, we don't know if any of them are like dead or alive.
Well, I'm pretty sure the other guys are fine, but so after he finished smashing his car up, his other buddy gets up and like magically has an iron rod in his hand, because those are just laying around at parties, you know. Those crazy kids, they're iron rods. And fucking they go to swing on him, and Goku does that cool thing where he's like, I'll just go between them. And he cracks his friend with a haymaker with an iron rod in the side of the head, like in the temple. That dude's dead. And immediately we're just gonna like, okay, well that's gone. We're over that. We're walking away from this one now.
The fucking car was a good. It was a good use of the setting, because they also built up that the car was there. So I'm perfectly fine with the car being used, but the fucking steel rod.
Yeah, like just laying around. Like he just grabbed that from like by the steps. Is like, why is that even there? Like
I've seen some crazy shit on 4chan where people just die from hits like that.
While we're here at the party, you know, when it cuts in, it's like, first of all, the party's at a fucking castle. Or
right.
Yeah.
Nobody's,
you know, and it's like
nobody's that rich and going to public high school.
No.
Well, I guess it's part of like the stereotypical like high school movie thing comes into play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And like part of me was like, so I guess they remembered that Chi-Chi's dad's like a king, but
oh yeah.
But like,
oh,
they don't mention him at all,
yeah.
Nor do they mention
idiot.
that she's like a princess.
Yeah.
So I guess in canon,
that's some
her
stupid
father's not
bullshit,
a king,
though.
nor is she a princess. So they just they made her house a castle for no reason, other than we can do that.
Christ.
We've got access to that set. We'll just use it.
Might have just been a leftover set from a different movie.
That's what I'm thinking.
Do we remember what studio this was? Universal, wasn't it?
20th Century Fox.
20th Century Fox. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably just left over from some movie.
Probably.
Fuck.
It was probably really cheap to use it.
Yeah, that actually gets into something. The sets in this movie, we can talk more about this later, but man, this is the beginning of the end. Actually, no, high school was the beginning of the end. Pretty much anywhere that isn't Goku's house or Roshi's house is the beginning of the end.
Well, for me personally, the party was the last part of the movie that I laughed at or enjoyed, and it was all just a very, very long plane crash. And it's just like, just make it end. Please, God, make it end.
So let's see. I'm literally grasping at straws because this is where the movie starts getting pretty boring.
Goku's like talking to Chi-Chi, and he's like, "Something's wrong. I gotta go see Grandpa. Something's wrong."
Oh wait. There's a line that Goku says to Chi-Chi before that. Chi-Chi asks, "You haven't done this before, have you?" And Goku says something along the lines of, "I have, a bunch of times, in my head."
My head.
Goku's so fucking weird. He's so different.
He's different.
He's not like the other guys.
And that line, if the delivery had been better, if like everything that fell out of these actors' mouths wasn't strange and flat and awkward, it probably would have been funnier and I don't know, more natural, but just the way he says it is just so weird. Like,
the way this actor says anything is weird.
Yeah. Well, he's the same actor that is in Shameless.
Yes, I wanted to get this.
He's the car thief boyfriend.
Yeah.
Justin Chatwick. I watched Shameless before I watched this, obviously, because I'm stupid and an idiot. Seeing Justin Chatwick as a stupid ass teenage Goku and Emmy Rossum as Bulma. Christ almighty. I wrote it down. This is the best Shameless this is the best episode of Shameless ever.
Yeah, so Goku tells Chi-Chi that Grandpa says I'm different and that he'd tell me why I'm different today, but that's not important. I'm here. Oh wait, something's wrong. I have to go. And then he leaves. And
Goku's different.
Yeah.
Goku's different, you know?
And, we get
Goku's
there.
Goku's got a lot of problems.
And him and Grandpa have, like, the most unemotional heart-to-heart as Grandpa dies.
Well, we skip the scene where Piccolo just, like, crushes the house. Like,
oh, I said something really out of taste in my notes. Should I say it on here?
Well, yeah.
We can edit it out.
To quote what I wrote down, Piccolo, played by Garugamesh!
Nice.
And Garugamesh has stage 4
evolution
at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah.
God damn it, Andy. Oh, that reminds me, Piccolo...
I remember writing that down, and then, 3 minutes later being like, I should have not written that down. That was a bad idea.
I'm glad you brought up the housing. I forgot about that. It's. I watched this today, and there's still parts of the movie that just have already left my mind. But I remember thinking when Piccolo comes in after the May, if that's even her real name,
Mai
comes in.
May?
Yeah, there we go. Mai.
I don't know. They didn't say it.
They didn't say it.
And she comes in, she throws all of her ninja stars, and then Piccolo just rolls up, and it's just like, why the fuck did she even come in here like that? Why didn't Piccolo just come in and just, mind grab fucking Gohan's balls? Because that's what it looked like he did when he did the thing, and he stopped him. And it's it kind of looks like he's force crushing his balls right now, and it's like, all right, why didn't you just lead with that? Wouldn't that have been easier? What if your minion got killed? I get that she's a minion and you shouldn't care, but come on, man. We find out later she's a shapeshifter. Why would you want your shapeshifter minion to die?
Oh God. Oh. Why was she able to shapeshift? Let's get to that later. Let's get to that later.
Never explains it.
I didn't even think about it at the time.
It's literally never explained, Andy.
Okay, so house goes boom boom. Goku shows up.
It just go boom boom. Piccolo just uses the force and just
yeah.
he crushes it.
That's a good point. This isn't a ki blast. This isn't This is literally just telekinesis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really lame. You can tell that their budget was really small because they didn't do the special effects all that often. It was usually right until the end. I think they were saving most of their money for the end for special effects. So he just flattened the house, I guess.
Yeah, so like,
because that's cheaper to animate.
and it would make a better scene later on when Bulma shows up.
It's true.
You know, whatever.
Then Goku like comes back to the house, like he hauls ass back to the house. He's like there in like 5 minutes, and like
Yeah.
Because pacing's not a thing.
And like he like gets he like talks to Grandpa Gohan. He's dying, yada yada yada, and then he like takes like 12 hours to bury him.
Well, listen, I'm sure after all those chicken feet, I'm sure that he was very heavy.
And then we get introduced to Bulma right after Goku finds Grandpa's, like, tracksuit.
Yeah, and Goku needs to clean his room.
The only time when Goku was appropriately sad, it made sense right now, but even here, he was still like sort of jokey.
Yeah.
He was still like, he was acting more Goku than before when he should have been more Goku. And so now he's supposed to be sad, and he's like, he's not cracking jokes, but he's like still being dodgy and being a bit of a fool with Bulma.
And Bulma's trying to get the Promethean orbs.
Promethean orbs. Oh my god.
Like, why the fuck did they need to do that? They could have just had her know that, because in Dragon Ball, the anime and the manga, she already knows that they're called Dragon Balls.
Yeah, like,
why are
it's
they
sort of a
Promethean
known
orbs?
part of the world that, like, there are these super powerful artifacts, but nobody knows where they are, and she's like, I'm gonna go find them. Here it's just like, we had this super powerful orb, nobody could explain it, it was pretty much a perpetual energy device, and, now it's just gone, so I've gotta go find it. Oh, it turns out to be a Dragon Ball? I don't care.
Yeah, and she, like, it's really confusing, because so the setup is that it was stolen from her, and she came there to find it, and she immediately assumes that Goku is the one who stole it. After that conflict between them gets resolved, we get a flashback where she clearly can see the person who stole it, May, and it's like, that's not Goku. What the fuck is your deal, lady?
Oh, you're right. Oh, I didn't even think about that, because the flashback happened after I cared.
Yeah. That explains it.
Oh, but, no.
And it was so confusing. I was just like, why? Like, why would you show this flashback? It just completely invalidates all of her actions. The only ones we've even seen. We just got introduced to this character, and you made her out to be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this is a small note. I'm just gonna say this. Bulma only having one lock of blue hair. Come on.
There are actually two.
Two? Oh, I didn't even see the second one.
Yeah,
you see it later.
Just a thought. What if this movie was called Promethean Orb Evolution?
It would have been better.
I wouldn't have seen it. I wouldn't have wasted my time when I was in high school.
So this gets to another thesis that I have about this movie, that had it not been about Dragon Ball, and had it not even tried to include Dragon Ball, everything, it could have been a bad sci-fi movie. But not, like, here it's an atrocious Dragon Ball movie. It could have just been a bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, all the tools were there just to be like, for like the Sci-Fi Channel, one of their B flicks.
Exactly.
It could have been one of those where you just there's nothing to do, and you stupidly paid for cable TV and now you have to watch it. But that's not the case though.
Because once we get to the sci-fi city that makes absolutely no sense, I was thinking, like, this isn't Dragon Ball at all. But if I could just sever that tie in my brain space, I might actually be having fun. And then I tried it for a few minutes, and I was not having fun. I tried. It didn't work. This is just a bad movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we've been introduced to Bulma. We have the flashback that invalidates her actions so far. And then Goku's like, yeah, sure, I'll just go with you, lady, who just tried to shoot me, and let's go find you help me find Master Roshi? And they go to the sci-fi city, and apparently there's just a magical directory where you can just look people up.
Goku's eating like this big thing of chicken.
Yeah, he's got like two legs of meat.
I like that.
And they're like, Goku eats a lot. We'll just have him eat.
But I thought that was sort of funny. Like it's like, oh my god, they're actually trying to do something with the character for once.
I just thought he was just eating a chicken. That's all I thought of it.
Dude, I don't know what he was eating. It was meat on a stick. That's what it was
And
to me.
it was huge.
It was the fucking size of his head. He had two of them.
I was constantly trying to think of Goku in the context of like, what if he was played by a 10-year-old, and what if this was actually funny? And
it would probably have been better if he had just been played by a 10-year-old, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah.
And I hate child actors, but it would have been better than that guy.
oh god, just listen. Yeah, Justin Chatwick really isn't that good an actor. I wanted to give him props, but even in Shameless, he was, he pretty much played Goku.
Yeah, like in Shameless, the best parts were the sex scenes, and even then, his unappealingly tiny butt just like kind of ruined those too. So
His ass was so tiny in that show. Anyway.
yeah.
Anyway.
Can someone send me a picture of this?
Send a butt pic? Yeah, we can probably find... First, for viewers at home, first contest, send us the best picture of Justin Chatwick's butt possible. So anyway.
You won't win anything. We haven't...
You...
we don't have any money. I spent all my money on Dragon Ball Evolution.
If you donate $10 and a picture of Justin Chatwick's butt, we'll think about you for a few seconds, and then we'll spend the money somewhere. So moving on to fucking Roshi's house, which seemed like a cool idea that just wasn't Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they tried to do Roshi's like house on an island, so they had it like a house on an island in the middle of construction.
It was like a townhouse, just like by itself.
Yeah. Well,
it was still surrounded by water and stuff.
No, there wasn't water, Andy. It was just like construction pit.
Yeah.
No, I thought it. Oh.
Yeah.
You were watching the 480 Putlocker stream.
Yeah. I was watching it. I was watching it
was.
at 8p, so I was only seeing 8 pixels on my screen, so it looked like water. That's not correct. It would have been like 8 by 10, so I was seeing 80 pixels. I gotta give credit to Putlocker where credit is due. So the inside of Roshi's house, I actually thought was kind of cool. The fight scene was totally useless, but it was maybe one of the cooler... Actually, no, never mind. It sucked.
The only thing the fight scene did, like, as a utility, was that it showed that Goku had suddenly decided that he knew how to use ki better.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Actually,
I guess all those emotions we didn't see him feel over his grandfather die really wakened something up in him.
Oh, God. Keeping track of what the fuck Goku is even doing in the movie is insanely difficult. Because he seems to be accidentally proficient at this point.
And they also show off that he has, like, superhuman speed when he knocks over knocks that like golden orb and it shoots all those little rocks up into the air, and he bends backwards and like super fast grabs all the rocks, but he just misses one.
I think we're led to believe that that's a key thing, that has something to do with mastering your ki.
Probably, but shame they didn't tell us about it or anything.
I was fine with Roshi's actor. You know?
Yeah.
I liked his performance. He was probably he was probably the best actor.
Yeah, he was a highlight.
Performance-wise.
And I say the word highlight with the most strained, saddened voice possible. He was a highlight.
Yeah.
And then, this is where we're getting to the part of the movie where nothing happens for a while.
Roshi has a collector's edition Bikini Quarterly magazine.
Ah, yes.
Yes, he does.
Viewers at home, send one of those to me now. Oh, I completely skipped over something in my notes. Let's hop back to Bulma. She introduces herself to Goku as Bulma Briefs. No joke about that. I was impressed. I was impressed.
Bulma Briefs.
There wasn't a single joke about that. Like, I thought this American movie about Dragon Ball was going to be like, okay, we're going to riff on Dragon Ball while also playing it straight. No, they just played it straight. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. Okay, then. Back on track.
Goku gets like a big backpack just full of crap.
Oh yeah, they just run. He's just running. At some point, he's somehow ahead of the motorcycle when they get to the desert scene.
I think like the motorcycle is like doing laps around him.
I guess so. I don't know.
It was imagery to show that he was succeeding. At the start, he was trailing behind, and then he got ahead. It's shitty, but it's something.
Eventually, they let him back in the motorcycle, and then that's when they crash into Yamcha's like pit.
Oh, because Goku has to become the Avatar.
Yeah, he has to master all 4 elements.
That's right. Yeah. No, there's only 3 in this one. They didn't have enough money to be able to put in the 4th one.
I believe water was missing because water is difficult as hell to animate.
Yeah.
And now,
so they fall into Yamcha's pit, and
now
Yamcha
we're with
comes up
Yamcha.
and he opens his mouth, and I think my note here is, let me pull it up. Kill Yamcha, please. That's my only note for this whole scene, is just kill Yamcha, please. That fake ass California surfer, like,
what's up, bro?
Does.
Okay,
like,
here's my defense of Yamcha. Knock knock. That's the gavel on my judge's desk. I am the judge, Judge AJShoop. Here's my thoughts on Yamcha. His voice sounded kind of close to the English dub. I was like, wow, that's actually a little bit of effort. His design was stupid. I think that they should have just gone with the long, bushy black hair to show that, like, he is sort of unkempt. Instead, they went with high, stylized, dyed, bleached hair, which shows that he cares about his appearance. I really built that up. That's pretty much my only defense of Yamcha, was that he sort of sounds like the dub, and I don't like the dub anyway, so, fuck me.
Yeah, so they like dicked around in that hole for a while for no reason too. Like, what was it? Yamcha, like, Bulma flirts with Yamcha to try to get him to let him out, and he's like, nah.
Yeah, and they really could have used that as a moment for, like, him being nervous and, like, him responding violently to that because he's scared of girls. But instead they were just like, nah, he cares more about money. Which I guess makes sense or something. If he's a bandit, I don't give a fuck.
And they also could have used that to, like, set up that weird forced romance between Yamcha and Bulma that comes up later, but shot that one in the foot.
Because
yes,
here's the thing: in the original Dragon Ball cartoon, when that happened in the 12th episode, that made sense. They built it up that Bulma wants a boyfriend, Yamcha's scared of girls, Bulma will take Yamcha, done deal. In here, it's just like, oh, they're a boy and a girl who are near each other for an extended period of time. Gotta make out.
Yeah.
Which they never actually do in the movie, which, like, they didn't even go anywhere with that. It was just that one scene of flirting.
They almost made out.
Yeah, they were close.
Wait, when?
They were gonna kiss in that weird underground market.
Yeah.
They were?
Yeah. They were about to, then, like, someone was, like, cutting some meat.
That's right.
Yeah, I think somebody cut off, like, a chicken head, and they were like, oh, yeah, okay, well, let's not kiss now.
Man, I've utterly destroyed my notes. They're all out of order. At some point, somebody says go hand instead of Gohan. I believe that's Roshi.
Gohan.
Man, my notes are fucking clusterfuck.
So yeah, because they realized that they forgot they were making a movie again for a minute. They're like, oh shit, the plot. So the next Dragon Ball's in Yamcha's little, like, bandit pit.
Yeah, which is I'm willing to give that an excuse because that's sort of a Dragon Ball-esque coincidence.
Yeah, and that was fine.
That
and
happens.
All. It was just like, at this point I was fed up with the movie's convenient plot devices. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm not surprised. Then what is it? It cuts to Piccolo after that, I think. Piccolo and May, and May's like, I found them, Piccolo, let's go kill them. He's like, no.
Yeah, that's right.
And he sits down in a chair.
Oh,
and,
Piccolo's blood share and his cum monsters.
He makes the cum monsters that look like Power Rangers monsters. They look like...
Yeah, right underneath this note, I wrote putties, ? But, like, he gets blood drawn out of his arm, and did any of you guys, well, Andy, you did, because you're in 144, but, Bri, did you notice that there were no tubes or wires that went away from those blood vials? He just, like, sucked some blood out of his arms, and it's like, your blood will give them life. And it's like, well, I guess he didn't need the blood, because they look like they're alive.
Oh, no. Roshi dresses well. Roshi dresses pretty well. I wrote Roshi is the fashion board of 4chan.
Roshi is like the only character who dresses close to what his character dresses like in the anime.
Yes.
All he needed was a turtle shell, and I'm not gonna blame them for not making him wear a turtle shell in the movie, because let's be honest, most viewers who went to watch this movie wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
What was this movie's like target audience anyway?
I don't know. It's like the Michael Bay audience, I'm assuming.
Wait a minute. When does the team show up at the weird fighting training camp that Chi-Chi's at?
Before the volcano?
Before the volcano.
After
Yamcha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they showed up at the fighting pit area, and there was like, oh, we can't train here.
Yeah,
because there's like a bunch of people there for whatever reason, and Chi-Chi's there, and she's like, I'm a fighter.
All right.
I'm different like you, Goku.
Goku's different, guys. You gotta remember that.
Chi-Chi's different too, guys.
Chi-Chi's different, guys. Everyone's different, guys.
Goku's different.
Fuck, I don't even know where I'm reading at.
Volcano.
At some point, there's volcano. God, fuck the notes.
Volcano is like where I stopped taking notes, and I just started staring at the screen, just like with like I don't know, with just like this blank stare.
Volcano is where I hopped on Tinder for about 15 minutes.
Volcano is weirdly about where I started taking notes, because like
at least somebody took notes for it.
The set looks so. The set looked so fucking terrible that it kind of snapped me out of my fucking stupor.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's right. I'm doing a podcast about this later. Shit. And that's when I started taking notes. And the first note is, kill Yamcha, please. And it just goes on from there.
Yeah, the volcano is just the volcano is a fucking mess.
You could tell when Goku hops up on, like, the edge of the lava, you can see it, like, move. You can tell that it's a pool. Like, you can tell that it's just a fucking pool that they put, like, a thing on top of.
Yes, and he looks so weightless when he's jumping across the lava. That was something that I saw, and I was like, fuck this movie.
Oh, that was
key,
epic.
Andy.
Okay, so...
He's channeling his key.
Christ, can we please blast through? Because I am combination getting a headache and looking at this timestamp and how long we've talked about this bullshit. So he gets the Dragon Ball... has a stupid ass fight with May where she gets the blood.
No, that's later.
Yeah, they show up at
Oh wait, no, she
tournament.
gets Chi-Chi's blood.
Chi-Chi's
she just
blood
hears
from the
about the tournament. Okay, yeah.
And like Goku just shows up.
Oh my god.
Where does this all take place?
Can you guys take the reins for like 5 minutes? I'm gonna zone out real quick.
Yeah. So like, Chi-Chi has her tournament, and Goku just like shows up, and like Mai is in the tournament for some reason. And,
yeah, she like cuts her arm, and then she's like, "I quit."
Yeah, and just leaves.
Why'd you even fight if you're not gonna fight?
All right, I'm hopping back in real quick to say that right after that match, I'm pretty sure Chi-Chi says Gaku instead of Goku. I'm out again.
I believe it.
Then I think they go to the temple.
Yeah, they go to the temple right after that, and that's where Goku gets taught how to use the Kamehameha, and my only note is ruined Kamehameha.
And Mafuba.
Mafuba.
Mafuba. However they pronounce that. I think it was weird.
Okay, so I wrote
Mafuba.
down that, returning to my awful, horrible notes that I ripped up, Goku learned the Kamehameha just because he wanted a blowjob.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, like for like legit.
Wait, so
saving the Earth couldn't get him up, but apparently Chi-Chi could.
was it the real Chi-Chi or the fake Chi-Chi?
That was the real Chi-Chi.
Yeah, that was the real Chi-Chi, because the fake Chi-Chi was not on screen, but one would assume the fake Chi-Chi was searching the temple for the Dragon Balls at that point.
Why was Chi-Chi at that temple?
And also, somehow, she also procured the exact outfit that the real Chi-Chi was gonna wear that day after the fight.
Why was Chi-Chi at the temple? What the fuck?
I don't know. I guess she just went with... I think Goku was like, we're doing a thing. And she was like, oh, okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so she's just there.
God
and,
damn it.
No, that's right. She just shows up afterwards, randomly. She just shows up at the temple after Goku gets left there to fucking train with the Kamehameha.
Yeah.
She's like, having trouble? He's like, yeah.
Oh, it's because they're in the same city. The fighting tournament, Goku hears Roshi say, like, we've got to go to the temple in blank city. And Goku's like, blank city, huh? And then they go to the fighting tournament, and it's like, okay, it's taking place at the same place. Okay. So Chi-Chi's just there because of convenience to see Goku.
Okay, well that works. But the power bonus prevails and proves to be the most powerful of powers. And Goku figures out how to do the Kamehameha for a second.
Which looks like trash.
Yeah, it looks like absolute garbage. It looks like something that had already been pre-rendered for a sci-fi film, and they just bought the design for it.
I think given a day or two, I could probably do that in After Effects. You know.
You'd probably do it better.
Then they had like the two Chi-Chis fight, and Goku like ended up like trying to fight the wrong Chi-Chi, like the actual good Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
Then Goku gets shot.
And knocks her out.
Oh my god!
Oh no, maybe shot. He's dead. It's like, he's not dead, audience. Don't pretend. And then apparently, where's my note here? The Kamehameha works as shock paddles, I guess. They just defibrillate him with the Kamehameha and it's all good.
Like, I'm trying to remember if they ever actually did that in Dragon Ball. Because that does sound like something silly they could do, but they played it off serious.
I don't think they did it.
So it's like...
Yeah, I don't think they ever
No,
because,
everyone can just transfer energy. Yeah, they don't actually have to shoot each other.
Yeah, no.
It would have been cooler if he was like given like a sensu bean or something. Like that would have made more sense.
Yeah, that would have been a cool little reference to like the original source material, but they didn't do that.
Of course, they didn't do that.
Oh, this is around where my brain started to function a little better, and I started thinking about the movie on a more technical level, and I was like, how did Piccolo get out of his prison underneath the earth? I don't think they ever explained that one. He's just free.
Yeah, he's just free.
You know what? Don't sweat it.
Like, he just gets out, and it's like, you're really just gonna, like, breeze past that one? Like, that could have been a cool scene in the movie. And you could have killed some of this padding out.
I think it's implied that it's because he was there for 1,000 years, and the Mafuba only lasted that long.
I guess so.
But
like,
yeah,
it could have been a really cool scene, and it's a huge missed opportunity, I think.
Ugh.
Just like, yeah, like they could have been talking about it at some point instead of like kill that, like that narration scene could have been taken out, and we could have just started in media res with that shot with Goku in the blue sky, and then Grandpa alludes to like he's gonna tell him something big soon, and then boom, that's when we see Piccolo breaking free from his prison or whatever, and his loyal servant or whatever cult. And it's not even a cult, it's just one person. It's just one person.
Oh, and Piccolo's airship.
Yeah,
Piccolo's airship is like that's like discount Star Wars.
That looks like some EVE Online shit, man.
Oh, it was so ugly.
Dude, it looks something like from Firefly.
From like Firefly, or like they just ripped a model off of EVE Online and put some propellers on it. Like, we'll be good. They won't sue us.
So now Piccolo has all 7 Dragon Balls.
Yes. We are at our lowest point. Have we already... We skipped over the market scene. Where
nothing
Bulma
happens.
And Yamcha,
Nothing happens.
We're blasting through. Fuck that scene.
Yeah, nothing happens there, and I don't have any notes except for the one I brought up earlier, where I don't think they actually read any of the screen material, so nothing actually happened there. And then nothing continues to happen. We found out Yamcha's truck can fly because
Plot
the
convenience.
writers realized, plot convenience, because the writers realized, like, oh shit, wait, we already shot this scene and it's a little too late to like shuffle the scenes around, so I guess we just have to be able to get them there really fast.
And
so
they
it
were
can
like,
fly.
Yamcha, he has a weird drill.
and
that
then-
also means that he knows technology for no
And, like,
reason.
Yeah.
Goku's like great ape form is now like he's a demon.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that. Hold on, we've got to talk about some other stuff before we get to that point.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the mood of the movie now is suicide mission, guaranteed death.
Yes, and
not even like we can save the world. Like, we're not gonna save the world.
Yeah,
But we're gonna try.
We're gonna die trying.
and this is where I realized that like they were trying to emulate like the Dragon Ball tone, because like in Dragon Ball the tone kind of does shift and jump around a lot, but it's very fluid. It works pretty well. In this, it's just it's schizophrenic.
Yes, it's constantly just like, you know, everything's not cheery, but like people have some levity, and then immediately something bad happens and everybody's fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
The
Like
guy at the temple told Roshi, "See ya in the next life."
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew who was gonna die.
Well, he told him apparently it's like it'll use all of your light, and it's like, whoa, what are we playing Destiny there, fella? It's gonna use all of your light to use the thing that I've already forgotten the name of again.
The Mafuba.
Yeah, the Mafuba. It's gonna use all of your light to use the Mafuba. It's like, what the fuck? All right, I mean, like, why don't you go with him? You don't want your friend to die, do you?
Nah.
No, I gotta stay here for plot reasons. They didn't pay me enough to be in the rest of the movie.
This is one instance where a dub creation... I don't want to go too far and say one instance, but this is an example of an instance where a dub invention could have really helped here. Just call it the evil containment wave. Nobody cares about Mafuba, but evil containment wave contains evil and it's sent out in a wave. Done. Everybody knows what's happening.
Yep. And then it just doesn't work. Just cause plot reasons.
Well, because Roshi was a fucking idiot, and even when he knew it wouldn't work, he still tried it. When he could have just, like, hung back, waited for a better opportunity. But instead he was completely vulnerable. Piccolo noticed immediately, and Roshi didn't even get a chance to try. So now we can talk about... Yeah, we can talk about Uzaru now.
Yeah, we could talk about Ozaru.
Yeah,
and
so-
how fucking shit that looked.
Goku's just a
Tell
demon
me,
now.
Bri.
He's
Yeah.
It's no longer like his grade 8 form. So I guess like I don't know. I guess Goku's like not a Saiyan. He's
Well, he landed on Earth.
yeah, but they call him a demon.
Yeah, I guess so. That's right, Osaru the demon.
Like, okay,
That's
so
right.
I was doing some mental gymnastics to try and explain this to myself. It could... No, never mind. So, Piccolo... No, because in this world, Nameks are evil. Ugh. Nothing works. None of all this stuff that did work works anymore.
Yeah.
They dismantled the entire working machine.
Bri, did you notice that when Goku transformed into Ozaru, they like at first seemed like they wanted to make him a giant ape, and he clearly looked like he was now a giant ape. And then the moment the camera cut and had other actors in the scene with him, he was just like
he's just a little bit bigger.
Yeah. It's like, wait, hold up.
Remember the Gorilla Suit Man from that one episode of SpongeBob
Yeah.
where he's stuck indoors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Osaru essentially. Except he's wearing Goku's clothes.
Yeah, oh, the Goku clothes.
Oh yeah, the clothes just like transformed with him.
Yeah.
The clothes were like, "Nah, we're not gonna break or anything. It's
yeah.
not like we're Special Saiyan armor that was made specifically for like for transformations. No, it's just regular like monk clothing, and it's fine."
Fucking kill me.
Yeah, actually, Jenna just brought up a good point. When he transforms back, it's just the same clip but reversed.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's the same exact shot but just in reverse.
Damn.
Yeah, and when he's choking Roshi out to death, like they did I thought my the thing I was streaming was like glitched or something when they were doing the like cuts of Goku's face there instead of Osaru. And it was like, wait, what the fuck just happened there? Like I thought I was stroking out, guys.
Oh no, that was an actual artistic choice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm maybe I should see a doctor soon. Oh no, it's just part of the movie. Okay.
Criminy. And so the stupid ass scene where like Yamcha threatens his own life to save Bulma, and they lightly underhand toss the gun to one another. Like he tosses her a Dragon Ball and she tosses him a gun.
Yeah.
And we're led to assume that Yamcha died?
No.
But then he didn't die.
Yeah, he
No,
didn't die.
because they don't address it.
They don't address it. He just gets tackled.
Yeah, they just walk away from it, and then they come back, and suddenly Bulma's like been hunted down, and she's about to get killed, and Yamcha's like, pew, but I've got a blaster gun instead of a normal gun. What happened there?
Yeah, and Uzaru apparently had the mental capacity as not a great ape to see like, oh, he doesn't have a Dragon Ball. I shouldn't kill this man.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute. What? The great ape is supposed to kill everybody.
And Piccolo definitely told him to kill all of them. But whatever, fuck it. Plot convenience.
Fuck it. At this point in the movie, we're at fuck it land.
Then Piccolo and Goku have like a Kamehameha jerk-off battle.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. It serves no purpose but to look quote-unquote cool, but it looks like trash.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then he does the final Kamehameha.
I'm just remembering that final Kamehameha, and it looked so fucking bad because he hopped into it and he didn't stand there in the normal stance like in Dragon Ball, and it's like
no, yeah, they fucked that up too. That could have been because that's like an iconic like stance.
That's iconic, and beam struggles and everything. Like that's a thing.
Nope, he just jumps.
He just hops into it, which is practically cheating because it's like, wait a minute.
And they missed the only like one of the last things they could have done to like kind of redeem this movie for me. When he lands after that explosion, and it's like he's facing the camera but not looking into it, and it's got that wide shot behind him of just like empty ground. I held my breath, and then Piccolo did not ragdoll to the ground hilariously, and I was just like, well, this movie's done. That's it. There's no coming back now.
Yep.
And it's like, why would you do a shot like that if you're not going to have him fall? You know?
He did fall, and it looked fucking stupid, but then we didn't see him hit the ground, and then Piccolo's just on the ground. And it's like, well, fuck this.
It's like that shot is like, you use that shot in movies, action movies, to show the other person is either fine, and the hero is like, ugh, or that they're the ones who they have failed and they fall to the ground and then they topple over or some shit. It's all dramatic, but no, fuck it. They just do a quick clip over to Piccolo and he's like laying on the ground taking a nap, I guess.
It wouldn't have worked with the movie because they built up the Kamehameha, but I would have loved it if when Goku jumped into the beam struggle, he went through Piccolo's beam and headbutted him like the way that he defeats him in the original.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
That would have been like kind of funny, except they didn't do any physical comedy with Goku except for that scene at the party, and so no, Goku just has to win by magic gun.
Then they used the Dragon Balls.
Hey, it was the only thing they got right.
They used the Dragon Balls, bring Roshi back to life.
Oh, here's something. They call him Shenlong, which is interesting. That's a Japanese thing, not an American thing.
Yeah.
They're really picking and choosing with these.
That's right, because in the American dub they call him the Great Dragon.
Well, they call him Shenron.
Shenron. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
I think they used the Great Dragon intercentally, but that might be
Yeah.
Z instead of Ball.
The Great Dragon is his title, and so they'll say the Great Dragon Shenron. A bunch of stupid ass bullshit happens after the fucking. Actually, not much stupid ass bullshit happens after that. They say,
Yeah.
"How about one more adventure to get the Dragon Balls?" Which is a Dragon Ball thing.
And then Chi-Chi and Goku go to fight, and it's a cliffhanger.
I forgot about that.
And my last three notes are: what a shit ending. No one bothered to check if Piccolo was actually dead or not. And then the mid-credits thing happened, and it's like, bitch ain't dead.
Sequel bait.
It's setting up another movie, and just
Did they do a sequel?
I
Nope.
wish.
Nope. I wish they did. I said in my notes that this looked like it was a Kickstarter movie in 2013, but it's actually a real movie from 2009. Let's crowdfund the sequel. Get Justin Wong back. Get Justin Chatwin back.
Dude, guys,
James
dude,
Wong.
let's do it.
James Wong would probably do another one since he hasn't directed another Hollywood movie since.
Christ.
Dude, let's start a Kickstarter. Let's do it. We'll just do what all the other Kickstarters do, and we'll just take all the money for ourselves.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Did any of you guys play the Dragon Ball Evolution video game on the PSP?
No.
No,
I
I didn't
had
know
a
they actually
PSP.
made games.
I should have. I could probably. I'm not gonna say the E word because everybody will climb up my ass, or they'll call the cops on me.
Evolution?
Yeah, I could evolution it with a ROM.
True.
A Shenron?
A Shenron.
Shenron.
Fuck this movie.
The Dragon Ball Evolution video game was made by Dimps, and they made the
Really?
Yeah, they made a whole bunch of other Dragon Ball games.
They did the Sonic Rush games.
Yeah.
The Sonic games on the DS, and then they did Sonic 4. Not
Oh,
Sonic
no.
Mania, Sonic 4, which is, and I can attest to this, horrible.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Sonic 4 right now.
Maybe later.
Wasn't Sonic Mania good?
Sonic Mania is fantastic. I
Yeah.
love
Isn't
it.
that
I
the
suggest
fan-made
you get
one?
it.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
it was-
hired fan people to make that one because Sonic 4 was bad.
Yeah, because fans understand what makes Sonic good better than the Sonic team.
Because
Yeah.
they were making Sonic Forces and they were like, this is going to be catastrophic. We have to lighten the blow. Let's do something really good just a few months before this comes out. So all the press will say, well, at least Sonic's having an okay year, instead of Sonic is dead again.
All right, we're getting too off topic.
Yeah. So,
You're right.
oh,
So in summary, in my opinion, this movie had a lot of poor cuts, very small amount of amusement from the bad acting, and that ends at about the quarter mark for me. There's like 2 instances of humor, but I couldn't bring myself to laugh. It was just too much. The stiff acting, the movie's inconsistent ability to determine like what level of technology and the passage of time is just painful to watch. It hurt
Yeah.
to watch this movie. Now, by the end of it, I wanted to cry.
oh yeah, this movie just it. Okay, so any laughs that I had in this movie were completely ironic. Any enjoyment I got out of this movie was out of a combination of pity, disgust, and, well, actually 2 kinds of disgust. Disgust at the movie and disgust at myself.
You just feel gross after watching it.
You just feel gross, because it's like, this is a movie that's trying to trick you. It's trying to trick you into thinking this is Dragon Ball, and that you're going to like this if you like Dragon Ball, but you're not.
There's some interesting ideas in it.
Yes.
But the
so that-
execution was poor.
to say the least. This
Like I think a modern day Dragon Ball could work.
Yeah.
Like with the right people behind it, who actually cared, it could work. But I think it's just obvious that these guys, they didn't care. Like you said earlier, it was a good year. Well, not even a good year. It was a good few years for action movies that have been going on. They were like, fuck it, we'll just make a Dragon Ball action movie. Why not?
Yeah. And I can definitely say that this movie, with about an extra 2 years of production, could have been pretty good.
You know what would have made this movie like 100% more bearable?
If it wasn't made?
If it had been Grandpa Goku. Well, yeah, that. If it had been Grandpa Goku and Gohan was the main character, because Gohan's actually an asshole when he's a teenager. And it'd been like, alright, well, I can tolerate this a little bit more.
I mean, like, but then you're sort of bending the rules, and then they've got to explain even more shit.
What did they even explain though? I think they were fine. they would have just not explained anything again. It'd have been okay.
Well, that's something interesting. I think that it was smart for them to choose Dragon Ball to adapt and not Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Because Dragon Ball Z comes with a lot of baggage.
I think Evolution was meant to be like a lead-in to Z.
Yes. Because they didn't do Pilaf. One, because Pilaf would not be taken seriously as an action movie villain, and also because we can skip everything and just get to Piccolo, because Piccolo will be important later.
Yeah.
So the next movie probably would have been Dragon Ball Evolution Z.
Dragon Ball Z Evolution?
Imagine casting Vegeta.
Or it would have been Dragon Ball Evolutions.
Promethean Orb Z?
Promethean Orb Z. If they casted Vegeta, he'd probably just be a normal ass dude with like slightly spiky hair.
Oh my god. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. The film was nominated for Spike TV's Best Comic Book Movie of 2009.
Were there any other comic book movies in 2009?
It lost to Watchmen.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
How did it get nominated? I guess anybody can nominate it.
Slow year.
So something. There's so many different parts of that award nomination that I'm not fucking with. Spike TV, that's number one. Comic book kind of makes sense because it's based on a manga, but really it's just. I mean,
they're not the same.
If Origins Wolverine, which came out a year before, can be a comic book movie, then this can be a comic book movie. Because Origins Wolverine was not. It was slightly based on the story of a character from a comic book, but man, it was far from the source, and so was this movie.
IGN gave this movie a positive review.
Oh, I bet. They were like,
IGN will give anything a positive review if you pay them enough.
This is what the fans have been waiting for. This is going to pay honest tribute to Dragon Ball, and it might mean a better future for the franchise in America. That's my idea of what the fucking review went like.
The visual style, pacing, characters, and storytelling are so unique to the animated series. Oh, hold up. No, I'm reading the wrong thing.
Thank God.
Let's cut that out.
I'm going to. If that was the actual review of Dragon Ball Evolution, I would have made a counter review to that review years later. Perhaps
the most successful live-action film to date to utilize costume production, audio design, not to mention some inspired flight choreography to provide flavor of anime without becoming overly cartoonish.
That's the key
word. Did the reviewer hang themselves afterwards?
Flavor of anime. It's the best anime movie we've got so far.
The main cast were created characters the audience can actually care about.
Wow, no.
No.
This is insane.
They made toys for this.
Imagine being a kid and receiving a Justin Chatwick Goku.
Hold up, I'm actually going to pull this up.
Send a picture in the chat, I'll edit it into the fucking video. Oh my god, this is Andy from the future. So, here's the deal. We started sending pictures to each other, but we needed a way to tell the audience to start looking at the fucking video screen. So, if you're interested in seeing what we're talking about, it's mostly just stupid-ass action figures. But if you're interested, start looking at the YouTube screen right now. Start looking, motherfucker, I'm out.
We can make it like that. We can we can have it in the thumbnail.
Yeah. Oh. God, this movie was like this was a train wreck. I can imagine
Oh my God.
the idea was getting passed
Oh
around
my
Hollywood
God.
for send it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I bet the fucking picture.
Oh shit!
Whoa!
Why does he have
Whoa!
4 arms?
Ah!
Oh no, his
What?
arms like clipped together.
What?
What? What's going on?
Oh, they made also for the volcano monsters for some reason.
Oh my God, that looks like a Japanese or not a Japanese, some
Fulham?
Malaysian bootleg.
They were called Fulham.
Fulham. It's not even like Tambourine or anything like Piccolo's minions were in the show. It's just Fulham.
Yeah, they really fooled him, all right. Fucking every single idiot who spent a fucking dime on this movie. God damn it.
Christ. Okay, so I think that's. Do we have anything more to say on the matter? What the fuck did you just send, Bry?
That's all the figures together.
Oh wow, these are so going in the video.
These are hideous.
Christ.
Yamcha looks like a bootlegged like Han Solo figurine.
Yeah, they all look like they're made from scrap parts. God, fuck this movie. Fuck everything about this movie.
What's the blue thing supposed to be in the background?
I'm not too sure what the blue thing's supposed to be.
I think this image right here of Roshi next to Roshi truly summarizes the issue.
Roshi never had a sword.
All right. Enough of the figurines. Do we have anything else to say on the matter? Score out of 10. Score out of 10.
It was a movie.
1.5 out of 10 because I laughed a couple times.
8 out of 10.
Okay, Bry. Wow. This is the BRYCAST, so Bry gets a double weight in the average of our scores. I'm gonna say 3 out of 10 because it was a made movie. There weren't any.
It was a movie.
It was a movie that got made. It was well lit. All of the shots were in focus. Things happened correctly.
Things happened.
Yeah.
There wasn't. Hold up. There wasn't a. They didn't make a Bulma figure. Hold up. They did.
Yeah, she's in the middle of that cast.
Yeah,
picture.
I'm reading something.
She should have blue fucking hair.
She should have blue hair.
Different. It was from a different company.
It would have been a 4 out of 10, but Bulma didn't have blue hair, so it's a 3 out of 10.
Goku's different.
Goku's different, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, they're all different.
Chi-Chi's different. Yamcha's different.
Roshi's different.
Bulma's different.
Piccolo's different.
And most of all,
Goku's
Bry is different. Shut the fuck up, Nick. All right. We ready to send this first episode off?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we covered everything.
All right. I'm gonna drink until I can't remember this movie.
All right.
Do you guys want to watch for the next one? There's some other Dragon Ball live action films.
What?
There's one from Taiwan and there's one from Korea.
I bet the Korea one's better.
I can't stomach reviewing 2 in a row. Put it.
We'll put it in the backlog.
Put it in the list.
Yeah, I'll put it in the doc.
We will return to Dragon Ball live action in the future, but for now, I have to throw it up before I can eat more.
Hold up. There's a Dragon Ball live action. There's one funny image. I have it on my computer somewhere.
Next time on the BRYCAST, we'll be watching the sequel.
Yeah,
Prometheus.
Fuck it. No, fuck no. Okay, everybody say goodbye to the audience. I'll edit in the funny image later, Bry. Everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Bye.
Fuck you.
Bye.